السلام عليكم وبركاته. بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. So this is a new series which I thought we'd start because verbs, right? Verbs, we all hate verbs, don't we? I mean, not all of us maybe, but we don't like them so much. There's so much conjugation to do. There's so much technicalities to it. And this is part of morphology, surf. Right, so before we do some books in Sarf, I thought we'd just go through all the conjugations of all the verbs, right? So this is the Al-Mu'jam al-Wasit fi Tasrif al-Af'al. This is the intermediate conjugation book, intermediate dictionary of conjugation of the verbs. So we'll just go through all the verbs. I mean, almost all the verbs he covers them and try to understand their conjugation and how it works. Is conjugation important? Well, not necessarily, because you might understand the meaning of a verb without even knowing the conjugation, and the context will help you out many times, even if you don't know how to conjugate those. And Sheikh Abdul Rahim also doesn't discourages using conjugation so much, because in Madaris in India and Pakistan, they do all the conjugation day in and day out. And just very difficult for you to conjugate everything, every verb you see or everything in the beginning itself. I mean, inshallah, learn this as a separate, if you're interested in verbs, or else if you're just a beginner starting Madina book 1 or whatever, then I would not recommend doing this series as such, maybe after book 1 or book 2, because it'll just make things difficult maybe, or make things lengthy for you, right? Because the first thing you should focus is on understanding the text and not trying to conjugate everything. Yeah, but alhamdulillah, conjugating is good if to understand and visualize the various forms a verb could come. So this is the book which we'll be using, and you can download it from the website. I put it on the resources section. And he has these numbers, right? Like number 1 means fi'l mujarrad thulathi, fi'l mazid sulati, fi'l mujarrad rubai, and fi'l mazid rubai. And then again, the number, this is number 1, 2, 3, 4. So you'll have number starting from 100, 200, 300, 400. And then the second number will indicate which wazn it is. And the third number, which type is it, right? So for example, 110. So 1 is what? Fi'l mujarrad thulathi. And then again, this 1 is its wazn. And this is this type. Is it sahih? Is it salim? Is it mu'tal? And so on. I mean, I won't go into this anyways, these numbers. But these is how if you want to master these numbers, like 273, you have to remember these. This is the story of all the verbs in the language, right? Here we are. This is the story. Al-fi'lu al-Arabiyyu, Arabic language, all the types, right? So I'll explain this, inshallah ta'ala, when we get there. But in summarizing, right? So they use the basic form for verbs for 3 letters, right? Fa kalima, ain kalima, and lam kalima. I'll go a little slowly. I mean, if some beginners are watching, or they might benefit out of it. So this is fa kalima, ain kalima, lam kalima. Why are we calling fa kalima? Instead of giving like first letter, second letter, third letter, or first radical, second radical, third radical, we can call these fa kalima. So anytime they say fa kalima, that means the first letter. Ain kalima is the second letter, and lam kalima is the third letter. Right. So all the game is with these 3 letters. So we have in Madi, right? In Madi, the problem is not with the first letter. So the first letter will always have a fatha. And the last letter will also have a fatha in past tense. What is Madi? Madi is past tense. It will always have a fatha. Now the middle child is a problematic one. The ain kalima is problematic because it could have either a fatha, or sometimes it could have a kasra, or sometimes it could have a dhamma, right? It could be fa'ala or fa'ila or fa'ula. So if the middle child was okay, we wouldn't have these 6 forms. So mujarrad thulathi, he divides this. This is a 6 awzan or bab, we say. Now bab, right? So notice here, like here, Mujarrad thulathi. Look at the ain. Look at the middle letter. Ain kalima. The ain letter. It's fa'ala. It has a fatha to dhamma. So we have a name from this. This is called Bab Nasara. Nasara. Because Nasara is an example for this. So Nasara, what happens? Nasara yansuru. Nasara becomes Nasara yansuru. You cannot guess this most of the time. You have to memorize that. Okay, Sajada, for example. And I say, it's Bab Nasara. So Nasara yansuru. This is called Bab Nasara. Right? He didn't use those names. He just starts fa'ala yaf'ulu, fa'ala yaf'ilu, fa'ala yaf'alu, fa'ula yaf'ulu. And then this is fa'ala yaf'ilu. That is Bab Daraba. Right? You can call this Daraba. If you don't understand, remember these names, it's okay. We'll go through those together, inshallah, whenever we come to these verbs. Then we have fa'ala yaf'alu. What is this? Bab Fataha. 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 Why Fataha? Because the middle letter has a fatha and also that fataha yaftahu. We can generally identify these most of the time. The ain kalima and the lam kalima are of throat letters. Yes? Hamza ha, ain ha, ghain kha. Then they are generally, not all the time, but most of the time they are of fataha. Then this is rare anyways. This is called bab karuma. This is rare, but we'll go through all of them. Yeah, this is karuma. Karuma yakrumu, and this is kasra to fatha, and this is bab samia. This is the most common one. Anytime you see a kasra on the middle letter, then you can 90% assume that this is going to be samia yasma'u, fa'ila yaf'alu, and this is fa'ila yaf'ilu. This is also very rare. So out of all the 6, hasiba, you can call it baba hasiba. Out of all the 6, only 4 are more important: Nasara, Daraba, Fataha, and Samia. Karuma, Hasiba is rare anyways. But Karuma is also, you can see a lot. Hasiba, maybe 6 or 7 verbs, or 9 verbs, whatever in the whole language. Very rare. Or some say 19 verbs. I don't know. I don't remember the number, but they're very rare. You can count them on your fingers, or more than 10 or something. So these are the 4 forms. Why did they form the babs, right? The awzan, you can call them babs. Why did we have these combinations? Because of the because the fatha is becoming a dhamma here. The middle letter. Look at the middle. The fatha is becoming kasra here. Fatha is fatha. Dhamma dhamma kasra to fatha. They should have actually been how many? 9 forms, because every fatha 1 2 3. Because this is all fa'ala fa'ala fa'ala, and then fa'ula should be 1 2 3. But anytime you see a dhamma in the madi, it's always dhamma, and kasra is only 1 2. So we don't have the next 3 forms. So alhamdulillah, only 6 forms. This is called mujarrad sulathi. This is called mujarrad thulathi. 3 letters. Yeah, mujarrad means there's no addition. Jarrada jarridu means there's no addition. It's blank. It doesn't have any mazid fihi, right? So mujarrad thulathi. Then we have mazid thulathi. He gives 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. These are his numbers, but in English we learn the 0, you should add +2 to it. So this is actually form 2. This is form 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. 11. He gives form 11 also, but we'll come to these also. This is called mazid thulathi. So there's mujarrad. Mujarrad is there's nothing added to it, but the same 3 letters, we can add some letters, like we can double the middle letter, we can add an alif, we can add a hamza. This is just adding 1 letter each, and this is adding 2 letters. You can add a ta and doubling, ta and alif, or you can add hamza and noon in, or you can add hamza and ta. Or you can just add hamza and then double the last letter, or you can add 3 letters, hamza, sin, and ta. Or you can add a hamza and a waw. Hamza and a waw, and then open up the ain kalima. Ain kalima is like this. So this is called mujarrad thulathi, and this is called mazid thulathi. We'll go when we are dealing with them this time. And then we have mujarrad rubai. Rubai means 4 letters, 4 root letters. Root letters, there's no addition to it. And anytime you want to say 4 root letters, they added an extra lam in the wazn. So this is called mizan as-sarfi. That means you put a wazn for this, right? fa, ain, lam, lam. Like you have the verb tarjama, for example, right? I'm just writing it separate so I can see. So what is ta? Ta is fa. And what is this? Ain, fa, lala. What helps you? And this is also again lam. So they'll double the lam. So anytime you see a double lam, that means there are two root letters added to it, and that's mujarrad rubai. Anytime you see two ains, no, it's not double. It's formed from the three-letter verbs. It's themselves. So this is fa ain lam lam. Fa lala, fa lala. Okay. Fa'alala. We'll learn about them when they come, inshallah. Then we have mazid rubai. Right? We have additional letters. Like we are not, I mean, as we're not satisfied with just 4 letters, they added one more. So here you see tafa'al, tafa'lala, tafa'alala. So if they've taken these 4 letters and added a ta to it, okay, 1 letter extra, ta to it. And some they've added a hamza and a noon to it. So we had a fa, ain, lam, lam. We added a hamza and a noon. We added in, like you take form 7, right? I mean, form 7, this form 7. In fa'ala. Same thing here, but after one hamza and then fa'in and then noon. If'an lala. And these are anyways rare. Itma'anna, like itma'anna. And then we have if'alalla. We'll get to those also. So how many forms are these? So just 3 forms. There's 6 babs, 6. 6, and then these are 11, right? These are 11. So 11 plus 6, 17, and then 18, 19, 20, 21. Right? 21 forms. That's it. No. Right? This is mujarrad thulathi. This is mazid thulathi. Now, in every one of these, we could have these. In every one of these, we could have. Not all of them have everything. But, for example, you take Bab Nasara, right? I just called it same Bab Nasara. Right? What is Bab Nasara? Nasara is the middle letter has a fatha and a dhamma, right? Like Nasara Yansuru. Nasara, he helped. Yansuru, he helps. In this, we could have Sahih verbs. So all of these is again divided into 2 parts. So remember, Mujarrad Thulathi, Mazid Thulathi, Mujarrad Rubai, Mazid Rubai. Okay. See, Mujarrad Thulathi means just 3 letters. Mujarrad Rubai means just 4 letters. But what is Mazid Thulathi? They could have 1 additional, 2 additional, 3 additional. Right? We just add 3 more additional. That's it. They cannot be 4 additions. And this is adding 1 or 2. Right? 1 or 2 additions in 4 letters. So they could be only 6-letter verbs. Only 6-letter verbs. Nouns could be 7 letters maximum, but verbs could be only 6 letters from what I remember. Now, in each of these, we could have Sahih and Mu'tal. These are the big differences, Sahih and Mu'tal. What is Sahih? Sahih means there is no weak letter in it. What's weak letter? Weak letters means a waw or a ya. Waw and a ya. Why is it called weak? Because they like running away all the time, right? Anytime there's a problem, they'll run away. We'll see when we conjugate those. And Mu'tal is always problematic. I mean, it's very difficult for many students to grasp. It takes a long time for you to master Mu'tal. But Sahih means there's no waw and ya. But Sahih could also mean Salim. What is Salim? Salim means there is no waw and ya anyways, but there's no hamza also. And there's no tad'if. Tad'if means there's no doubling. There's no twin letters. So anytime you say something is Salim, that means there's no waw, there's no ya, there's no hamza, and there's no doubling of letters. My 4th thing, it's safe from 4th thing. Salim is safe, right? It's safe from all these things. And these are the majority of, not majority, you could say, but these are many types of verbs. Dhahaba, kharaja, samia, laiba, or all these. You'll find them a lot. So there could be Sahih. Sahih means what? Big grads, big one. No waw, ya. It's called Sahih. But you're fine. I mean, Sahih, but you're not safe. And you should be safe from what? Hamza. Because they have other categories also. Why did they divide Hamza into a separate category? Because there are some changes. Mahmoud's guys are fine. I mean, most of the time, you won't find many changes. But there are some changes we'll find. And then there's double letters also. There are a lot of changes in Muda'af also. Mudaf means hajja yahuju. There's doubling. Ha, jim, jim. Right? Jim is double, twin letters. So same letters repeated twice. So instead of saying hajjaja, what hajjaja? They've changed it to hajja. Okay. So we'll get into all of these in detail, inshallah, if you don't understand. So anytime you see a verb, first things first, you have to count how many letters there are. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. Like for example, you find dhahaba. Dhahaba. So first things first, how many letters? 3 letters. Okay, 3 letters. Fine. This is mujarrad thulathi. Next, is there a waw or a ya there? So this is what? Mujarrad thulathi. Fine. Is there a waw or a ya there? No waw ya. Yes, no waw ya. So it's what? Sahih. Sahih verb. Is there a hamza there? No hamza. Is there something double there? No. So it's called salim. And then you can say the bab also. Dhahaba is dhahaba yadhabu. This is what? Dhahaba yadhabu is what? Fataha yaftahu. This is bab fataha. Okay. Alas, I mean, generally in dictionaries, they just give you this. They just write fa, or some people give you the mudare also. Or some people write in English AI. So this is AA. Right? That is fatah in dictionaries. Hands were and others. He gives them mudare. Or he just puts in A in the brackets. That means dhahaba becomes A. Again, that means the mudare has a fatha. Okay. So try to understand the forms of these verbs, right? And these are all the verbs. That's it in the whole language. I mean, there could be some additional, but we've covered almost 99% of the verbs. So sahih means what? In sahih, the categorization is salim. No hamza, no doubling. It's called salim, safe from hamza, guys. Then there's muda'af. Muda'af is tad'if, means da'afa yuda'af, is to double something. So muda'af, you see, oh, this means 2 letters, twin letters. And there's mahmuz. Again, mahmuz means hamza. Hamza could come in the beginning, hamza could come in the between, in middle, and in the end. So it's called mahmuz al-fa, mahmuz al-ain, mahmuz al-lam. Why fa, ain, lam? We learned, right? Fa is called the first letter, ain second, and lam is the last letter. So hamza could come either places. And then mu'tal, weak. So anytime you have a waw or a ya, or an alif, because sometimes, the alif, you can see the alif also, and then it's a lot problematic when you see the alif, because the alif could be a waw or a ya. Remember, alif is never a root letter. Anytime you see an alif in the verb, you should always be thinking, oh, it's a waw or a ya. So anytime you see a waw or a ya, you should know it is weak. Khalas, like wa'ada. Wa'ada. Oh, what happened? It's not right. Wa'ada. This is weak. Oh, wow. Oh, careful. Something's going to change in the conjugation. Right? Al-qala. Oh, careful again. This alif is not an alif. It's a waw. How do you know it's a waw? Well, when you go into the present tense, you can see, or you can go to the masdar qawl. We can see the waw. So there's mu'tal al-fa. In this thing. Mu'tal al-fa. That means we call it mithal. Instead of saying mu'tal al-fa, weak in the fa letter. Weak in the weak in the fa. Fa means the first letter is weak. We call it mithal. Inshallah, we'll keep repeating these names. Mu'tal al-ain is called ajwaf. And mu'tal al-lam is called naqis. Weak verbs. And there's lafif. These are very bad. Lafif mafruq means a waw and a ya are coming in the verb. Like waha. Waha. Waha, you see, a waw and ya. So if they come separated, it's called lafif mafruq. Farq, farq is difference. Farq is different. So they waw, ya, waw, ya, waw, ya. They're not together. They're enemies now. But lafif maqroon, they're best friends. So they can come together. Like, I don't remember verb as of now, but we'll see when it comes. Lafif maqroon, they'll come together. They'll come together. So that is called maqroon. So the waw and ya will come together. Inshallah, we'll see this. So this is the whole story. So any of these verbs can be these. That is why the verbs, instead of this, how many did we count? 6 plus 11, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, right? 21 into 9. 21 to 10, 210. literally 210, but not 210, right? So you can see this is the whole table. Like, for example, you want to see fa'ala. You want to see this one. So this is 110. So first we will be focusing on this one. Nasara. We'll be focusing on what? Nasara. So it could be Salim. What is Salim again? Salim means no hamzas. Right? This is all sahih, right? So Salim means no hamzas and no doubling. Right? It's safe. Salim, safe guys from Hamza gang. It's safe, and there's no twins also in there. So it could be Salim, it could be double, and there could be Mahmuz al-Fa. Hamza could come in this bab. And then Mahmuz al-Lam, it could come in this. And then Mu'tal al-Fa, they could be weak in this. Or Mu'tal al-Ain, they could be weak, middle letter weak, and Mu'tal al-Lam. So anytime we will do that, we'll talk about this verb. So we'll do number one, this in one video, inshallah. Conjugate this. Then number one, this 111. Right? We'll just keep changing 110, 111, 112. There's no 113, 114, 15, 16, 17. All right. So you can find this form in 7 forms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 forms. So this form. And then this in more 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9 forms. So this is more common, eh? Daraba yadribu. For instance, we will do, so this is how it is, yeah? This is all mujarrad thulathi, the 6 babs of it, and then the 11 forms of this. And then the, see, you see all of this, but form 2 has all of them. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 doesn't have, just 2 forms. That is, it doesn't have what? It doesn't have Mahmuz al-Ain. Cool. And this if Allah is very rare anyways. It has only 3 forms, poor guy. And then istafala, and then this is also rare, 11, form 11. This fa'alala, again, mujarrar rubai, will go to them. That's 3, 3, 3. So anytime you see a 1 in the starting, that means it is mujarrad thulathi. 3 original letters. There's no addition to it. Right? They are 3 best friends. Mazid means there are more best friends. Yeah. So we have 4 best friends, or 5 best friends, or 6, depending. So yeah, they have more families, 3. And then, so anytime you have to identify which family is this. Is it Salim, Mudab, Mahmuz al-Fa, Makruf, Makarun, and so on. And this is all the table of the verbs. So we'll go to Fa'ala, Kataba, Madda, Akala, Akhada. Inshallah ta'ala. So today we will begin. Right? You can go through these verbs anyways. Some are difficult verbs. Today we'll begin this 110. So I'll give these numbers in the title also, inshallah. Today we'll begin what? 110. Or maybe not. We'll do it in the next class, inshallah. So today we'll leave it for intro. But so this is, let's see, fa'ala. So what is this? How many letters is there? Mujarrad thulathi. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Sulathi. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Is there hamza there? No. Okay, fine. I mean, is there waw? Yeah, there's no waw. Yeah. Is there hamza? So this is Sahih Salim. Sahih Salim Bab Nasara. You can call it what? Bab Nasara. I mean, you're not concerned with Sahih Salim. I mean, does it have a weak letter or not when you're learning the language? Because once you identify the conjugations and on that, it doesn't matter. We'll just say this is Bab Nasara, because that you cannot guess. You can see it is Sahih. There's no waw yet. You can see it is Salim. So this is what we're going to do. This will be Sahih Salim. Sahih Salim. What is Sahih? No weak letters. And what is Salim? No hamzas, no doubling. And this is what we're going to focus. All of the form of this number 110. 1 with mujarrad thulathi. And this is Bab Nasara. Nasara is also 1. And 0. What was 0? Oh, he's given a Sahih Salim. There's no hamzas and there's no this thing. I mean, we can keep reading. So this is Fa'al Mujarrad Thulathi. Right? Mujarrad Thulathi. Wazn is Bab Nasara, and this is Sahih Salim. So 3 things determine how you're going to conjugate the verb. And how are you going to look at it? Well, there'll be 3rd person, 2nd person, 1st person. And people who've been doing the language, they have an idea about it. Right? Like, then he'll divide into masculine, feminine, masculine, feminine, masculine, feminine. Wa huma hum, ya huma antum antun, ti antum antuna, ana nahnu. Fa'ala fu'ila. And he'll give ma'lum and majhul. And we'll go through how to make it passive also. Right? Many times Many people get confused on how to, especially in the mazid fihi babs, they'll get confused in how should I make it passive. So we'll learn those two also, inshallah. And then amr, anyways. And then masdar, fa'al, fi'al, fa'al, fa'al, fa'al. Oh, so many masdars. Huh? Then we'll learn ismul fa'il, ismul maf'ul, fa'il, maf'ul. And then fa'al yaf'ulu, he gives a meaning. إلى وزن فعل مثلاثي وتألف من ثلاثة أحرف الأصلية. This is the wazn, he says. This is the wazn. Fa'ala is to do something. Right? Fa'ala is to do. Then we'll go to kataba. This is 110. So this is the original fa'ala. And he gives an example for that. Kataba. This is 110 again. Right? So similarly, this is how. And we'll practice too. Right? We'll practice these ones. And we'll see how to conjugate them. Very simple. Once you get a hang of it, it's very simple. But why am I making into separate series? Maybe it'll help us out in understanding the difficult ones like if'au ala. How do you conjugate those? I mean, it's the same if'au ala, if'au ala, if'au alu. But in weak verbs, we might be very weak. So inshallah, we can do some tricks and stuff to identify what weak verbs and all that. So it might help you and it might help you. So let me know if this helps, inshallah, so that we can keep continuing the series. Inshallah ta'ala, whenever I have time, I'll make this video, inshallah, about the conjugation of verbs. And if you want to practice this, right? If you want to practice this, you can go and download on the website again this book, Safwatul Masadir al-Arabiya ma'a al-Lughat al-Jadida. So what this gives you various verbs. Now I want I want sahih. No, I want, yeah. I like, we'll just go to someone. He starts with, for example, this is sahih. Yeah. Nasara yansuru. Now I want to practice this. So we'll take so many verbs like this, batala yabtulu, to become null or void. And then we can practice it. Like hadatha yahduthu, hadatha yahduthu. So this is for nasara. So this is what is sahih. Remember what is sahih? Do you remember? Sahih means no waw and ya. That is called sahih. Right? Sahih means healthy. Right? Healthy. Sahih also means correct. No waw or ya is called sahih. But he says sahih is no hamza also. But we learn that sahih and salim. So sahih includes hamza, but salim doesn't include hamza. So don't get confused. I mean, just the terminology which they use. So this is all sahih. Because some people say we need not call them sahih salim, we'll just call them sahih. And mahmud, anyways, they have a separate name. Don't worry about those names and terminologies. Inshallah, we'll go. So you can practice rabata yarbutu, to bind. So rabata, rabatu, huwa rabata, huma rabatu, hum rabatu, hiya rabatat, hunna, huma rabatata, rabatata, and then anta rabatta, you bind, you bound. Then yarbutu, rabit, urbut, la tarbut. Rabit is the ismul fa'il. And this is the masdar. So madi, mudari, ismul fa'il. So you can download this book and practice. Inshallah, if possible, we'll also practice in the videos maybe. Let's see how it goes. Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum.